All right, recently, Erin Condren came out with Softbound life planners. Now, before, usually the only thing you could get are their spiral bounds, and this isn't even a life planner. This is their monthly, just a monthly planner that I got in a huge, ginormous size. But usually they only come with this sort of laminated cover, which does look, I don't know, like someone, it's definitely the Erin Condren style, but it doesn't look as nice and sleek as the Softbound life planner. And I know the light's really bright, don't worry, we'll look at this up close. And I just thought, especially with the gold etching on the sides of the pages, it just looks super nice and high end. Now, before they did have another planner, I don't think, oh yeah, it's right here. That they came out with, and these were hardbound planners. So this is a chipboard, and I have the measurements here. It's 8 1/4 by 10 1/2. So almost the same size as this one, maybe just like 1/8 of an inch bigger. And it also had the gold foiled sort of edges. It's just that this one seems so much nicer. So we're going to take a look at this one today a little closer and see if this might be an option for your line of planners. Hi everyone, I'm Lisa from Pretty Fabulous, and I help online businesses create beautiful digital downloads using Adobe InDesign. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I do unboxings like today on Saturdays. So today we're going to look at the Softbound Life Planner from Erin Condren, which is very different from their signature line of life planners that usually has the coil. They also recently came out with the Folio one, which has, it's more like a binder clip. Those did not work out well. They didn't, or maybe the one I got didn't work out well. It was totally defective. It didn't open correctly. The rings didn't line up. So when you close the binder, you couldn't open and close pages. But again, it could just be mine. Maybe the others are okay. But it was just kind of a very, very awkward system. Plus the rings inside of there is no 3-hole punch or 6-hole punch or whatever you call it to create your own pages. And it's odd sized anyway, so even if you printed something out, it's not going to fit inside of that particular folio. So I think overall it was a great idea and concept, but in actual execution, I'm not sure how people felt about it, but it just didn't really work for me. However, when we talk about the hardbound planners, so this hardbound one was really popular, and it's really sad. I don't know why they just aren't making this particular one anymore. I'll take this off so you can see the whole thing. But it was really pretty, and I think everyone loved the gold foiling around the cover and on the edge of the pages. Now, I always tell people if you're going to do page edges, never do the gold edging. And the reason I tell you never to do the gold edging is because it's so easy to scratch this. It gets scratched when it is being created, it gets scratched when it's being packaged up to be shipped out, and it gets scratched when the customer takes it out of the plastic packaging. And what happens is they usually end up blaming you, and they're like, this is scratched, it doesn't look as pretty, and it's because it's so easy, it's like so fragile. So it's really just a shame because it does look really pretty. However, again, if you're going to offer that, just know that you're going to get a ton, like every single client that I've ever had or student who offers this has a ton of complaints from people that are upset if there's a tiny little etch. And you can see inside, well, we'll look up close. This has tons of tiny little defects all inside of it as well. And that's just the nature of having these kind of pages. But this is, so you know, $35, and I think it looks much nicer than their traditional one, which is spiral, which is a standard $55. But let's go ahead and take a closer look. So this is the new Erin Condren Softbound Life Planner, and it's so weird because it's just night and day from the regular one, which just isn't as pretty. This one's very high end. It has some nice gold foiling. I see Lucky even likes it. He's checking it out. And so it has this nice little lap band here in the front. So that always makes that a little nicer. And then inside, you see it has some more gold foiling over here. And as you turn the page, you get the whole 2020 at a glance. You get your same, have some goals, have some areas to give some thoughts, and then you have your, I guess, quote or little motivational thing in the front. You have a 2-page spread for the monthly, so it looks just like their regular. I got the vertical layout, and so it just is, I don't know, I feel like it looks prettier when it is hardbound versus their, do I have ones laying around? Yeah, I do. I have this monthly planner over here. And so I don't know, it just looks so much, I don't want to say cheaper, but I think because of the way that they do the, what do you call it? The vinyl, the overlay on top of here, and the fact that it doesn't extend all the way over, I think that's just what makes it look a little cheaper, right? Because it's kind of like, oh, I could do that myself at home. But the pages inside are just as beautiful as the other ones. And let's see, I think it's the same. Let's look at January. Yep, same exact thing that you get for both of them. So she's using the same monthly sort of front for each planner, no matter what the style is. But yeah, I think, let's just have any extra pages. Nope, it just kind of ends, and then you get your 2021 at a glance over here. And that's it, but it's a softbound planner, and it does look very nice. I just wanted to share that. So what did you think? I really love this design. I think it's beautiful. I think it looks sleeker. It looks nicer. It's more high end, even though it is way less expensive to make. So it might be something for you to think about as well. Now, the key to making a really good bound planner, whether it is hardbound or it is softbound, is to make sure that the pages inside, when you open it, there's a huge gap. I don't know if you can see that. There's this gap right here between where the pages are, and it's hard to see there, where the pages are and where this cover spine sort of is. So you can see there's extra give here, and that's what helps to make it lay flat. Now, if you are a really good planner designer, you will have that inside of there. This is the Daily Greatness Wellness Journal. They have the same thing. You see a big gap right here between where the planner pages are kind of stuck together as one, and then where this spine kind of wraps around. Same thing with the Commit 30 planner. When you open this is another softbound. You can see there's a huge gap here between where the planner pages are bound and also where that cover goes in. Now, the problem is, this is another planner. This is a Rachel Ray planner, and the problem is this one doesn't lay flat, right? Like, you can't get it to lay flat at all. It just wants to keep closing on you, right? And that's because it was designed differently than the other ones. This edge is really hard, it's ungiving, it's inflexible, and that's why the whole thing just wants to close up like a regular book. So this was meant as a book, even though it's meant to be written in, versus all of the other people have made planners where they have a gap. And I know what you're thinking, is it because that was a hardbound, that Rachel Hollis one? This Erin Condren one is also a hardbound, but if you look at it, this one lays flat, and that's because there's a big gap inside of here. Move this back so it's in focus, between where this is and where that goes. So it's just a matter, honestly, of just making planners and being familiar with how the binding needs to be on the spine. And it's usually, if you get a manufacturer who doesn't make planners a lot, most likely this person who made this one just makes books and didn't really intend for this to lay flat and be written in, and that's just why that one doesn't lay flat. All right, I hope that was helpful to you on spines versus for soft planners or hard planners and how to get them to lay flat. I think it's a little funny, the Michael Hyatt Full Focus Planner, the first planner he came out with, he didn't do that, right? So this new one that he has here, he's done a much better job, and this one has a gap right here between where the pages are and where the spine is. The first version he did was more like the Rachel Hollis version. It didn't do that. He had a whole video on, like, I think it was like 10 minutes on like how to get your planner to lay flat. And it was hilarious. He's like, you bend it back, you pull it, you put a weight on top of it, right? Like all these things to get it to lay flat, when really the solution was just how it was manufactured. And if you manufacture these correctly and work with a good vendor that knows what they're doing, your planner, whether it's softbound, hardbound, it doesn't matter. It's going to lay flat just like a regular spiral. Maybe can't fold backwards, but it will lay flat so that people can write in it. All right, I hope that was helpful, and if you would like to create your own planner, make sure to sign up for my free course, Planner 101, and I will see you guys on Monday, and I hope you're having a fabulous weekend, and that's all I had to say. For some reason, I thought there was another announcement, but there's not. All right, bye.